Guys, be on your best behaviour, please. We've got an actual superstar of the game.
Did you really meet her? Like what? I don't believe you. She won't know who you are.
Oh, come on, mate.
Have we started the pod?
Hello, welcome to Make Me Good at Golf, a golfing podcast with three mates trying to get good at golf. We want you to come along for the journey. Mr. 71 is in the studio. Damien Fleming, highest test score, lowest golf score.
That's correct, Mr.
Yep.
48.
Thank you very much. Of course, stable for the points, 48. And a man who's still looking for a number, Mr. 90, Mr. H2O, Anthony Lehmo Lehman.
Mr. 19.
Oh, is he?
After Moore Park.
Oh,
No, I can't be Mr. 19.
Mr. 19.
it's good. It's good. Well,
I mean, the 19th hole, I'm happy to be 19th hole,
well,
not 19 stable.
You didn't even hang around for the 19th hole.
No, I did not want to see the 9. I had enough of 19 for that day.
Rate them in preference. Mr. HTO, Mr. 90, Mr. 19. What do you prefer?
H2O, 90, then 19.
Okay, so you prefer...
The water.
We'll call you 19 then.
I know, that's the...
Listen, this is exciting.
This is a big guest.
It's a big guest. This is an exciting day for Make Me Good at Golf. There's no doubt about that. This is the biggest guest we've ever had on, and maybe we could do this for 20 years, and we probably won't get a big name in golf than we're about to chat to right now.
I think you might be right, Pete.
The GOAT of Australian golf. There's no one better. You can argue that point if you want, but you're not going to win it.
How many majors?
7 majors. 59 career wins, 41 on the LPGA. 96 Rookie of the Year, 3-time Rolex Player of the Year, 1 Player of the Year multiple times. Became the youngest World Hall of Famer at the age of 30.
Wow.
An OAM in 2010, an officer of the OAM in 2018, the first player in LGPA to win the Super Slam, an absolute gun. I bumped into her at a gig in Townsville last week. I mentioned the podcast pretty bloody quickly, and she's followed up with it. She's agreed to come on. Please welcome Karrie Webb.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Karrie. Thank you so much for coming on because, we had a quick chat up in Townsville. I mentioned the podcast pretty quickly, I have to say, and I followed up, not thinking you'd get back to me, but here you are. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, after the amount of wine I had at that event, it is amazing I remembered meeting you.
Right. Karrie, Pete has turned into a, let's say, student of the game in inverted commas in recent times. So he would have been very excited to see you. Did it get a bit weird? Was he hanging around a bit too long, asking one too many golf questions at that function?
Well, we're in Townsville, so he's a bit of a big deal up there. So I got my 5 minutes, and that was it. But no, it was great.
It was actually, Karrie, my memory of it was, in hindsight, I'm a little bit embarrassed how quickly I mentioned my 48 Stableford points to you.
And Karrie, did he mention that it was a Jensen, so he went to the best drive every time? Did he mention that?
No, actually, that didn't come up.
Okay, let's move on. Let's focus on you, Karrie. First of all, what are you up to these days?
Well, not playing as much anymore, which actually is good because I get to spend a lot more time back at home. And I think my main priority is getting back here more often and just enjoy being back in Australia and being around my family and friends.
So how often do you get out these days?
I'm trying to get close to splitting the year between here and back in the US. It's sort of each year is a little bit different depending on where my commitments are. If I have more commitments here, I get closer to 6 months. If I have a little bit going on in the US, sometimes it doesn't work out quite split in half.
And Karrie, what about your golfing journey? Why did it start? Who were you playing with, and who are your mentors or idols as you were growing up?
Well, I think growing up in the 80s as a kid, I think every kid that played golf, Greg Norman was their idol, and he definitely was for me, and was very fortunate to win his first Greg Norman Jr. And the girls and boys went. I got a trip to the States to stay in his house for a week, so that was a pretty special experience. And I was already dreaming about being a professional golfer, but that, just elevated.
Was it the biggest house you've ever seen?
It was. The guest house I was in was the biggest house I'd ever seen.
Okay.
Yeah, it turns out the Shark was doing it right. How old were you, Karrie, when you realised you were good at golf? When you went, hang on a sec, I'm actually standing out a bit here. I might be okay at this sport.
Yeah, I think I sort of just progressed through all the different steps. So, through the age junior stuff up here in North Queensland, and then which got, the Queensland state body interested in bringing me to junior camps and state camps, and, then making those teams, and then making the Australian team. So I sort of just kept making those steps. But I think from 11 was when I told my parents. I watched Greg Norman play the Queensland Open, and I came home. I just love the atmosphere of what a professional golf tournament was, and I came home and told my parents that I wanted to be a professional golfer.
Wow. And you turned, I think, pro at 20, and within a year you won the British Open. You must have been thinking, this golf thing's pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I mentor a lot of the young Australian girls coming through, and I feel like I've experienced just about every emotion you can in golf. But the one thing that I haven't is really, after winning that event, I've never had to worry about paying bills, and, my career just sort of, went straight up. So I've never had that fear of losing in my card or not being able to pay my hotel bill at the end of the week. That's the only experience I haven't felt.
And you must have seen other golfers do that, because we don't really think of that with golf. We think of like the top echelon, you guys, people like yourself and the Scotty Schefflers, who probably don't have to worry about money. But we've been learning as we do this podcast. There's a lot of people just hustling their way on the tour. Yeah,
and I think today with all the tech and all the different specialized coaches, I feel like to get to that next level, you've got to invest in that stuff, and it's almost more expensive now with the amount of different coaching and different technology there is for these young kids coming through. You can always have the natural ability, but I think you've got to be ticking all these other boxes because everybody else is.
So you win the British Open, you go on to win 6 more majors. What do you see? Because golf is a game of inches, as we know. So many things can go wrong in a game of golf. What do you think was the secret to your success, or the top couple of secrets to your success?
Yeah, I don't really think I have that actual secret. I think I worked really hard. I never took for granted the opportunity that I had. I think when someone asks me what my greatest accomplishment is in my career, is that I got 110% out of my talent, and I can look back and say that I don't have any regrets and how hard I worked and the effort I put into my career. There's not a period of time where I could say, I wish I had just worked a little bit harder during that period and maybe something else would have happened. I see too many people with way more talent than me, sort of think that they can just ride in from amateur golf on this talent and not put the work in. And, it only goes so far. So I don't.
That's what I'm hoping to do.
Well, you've got a big pro-am coming up, I hear.
Big pro-am. It's a big pro-am.
It's big. They're nervous. Karrie, what about coaching? How important were coaches for you, or did you self-coach a lot?
Well, I have a really different coaching background. So I grew up in Ayr, which is just south of Townsville. And when I started golf, we didn't have a club professional at the time. So my parents were good friends with Calvin Heller, who right when he was one of the best club players in the club. Like, he was club champion a number of times. He eventually became the head green super at the Ayr Golf Club, but he wasn't a trained golf professional. And he was a part of my team throughout my entire journey. And he was my only coach through the best part of my professional career. But when I was 16, Calvin had an unfortunate incident happen and that left him a quadriplegic. And so for the best part of my career, so six out of 7 majors, he was my only coach. And so I would only see him in person a couple of times a year because he couldn't travel, obviously. And it was the start of the internet, and the different golf programs where I could email him my swing, and that's sort of how we made things work. He taught me the basis of my golf knowledge, and then Ian Triggs came on for 10 years, and Triggsy was great because he knew my relationship with Calvin, and that I would always want Calvin to be a part of my team, and that I would be saying that Calvin was my coach. And he came in with no ego, and in a time where I had made some changes with Calvin, but only seeing him a couple of times a year and doing it, remotely, the changes were becoming quite challenging, and I was losing a lot of confidence in myself. So I'd known Triggsy since I was 14, and he came on board as a part of our team, and he was coaching a great mate of mine, Rachel Hetherington. So he was traveling onto the LPGA pretty often. So that was sort of the start of the journey there. And Triggsy really actually helped me shape and understand a lot of my game. I think a lot of it came very, very natural to me, and I had a very natural short game, but he really made me understand it to where I could, self-correct. And the same with my swing.
Sorry, Karrie. I was just saying it's funny because park golfers like us, we once a game we might go, I think I've worked out golf. I think I've worked it out. I try something different with a grip or a stance, and you listen to one of the greatest golfers who played the game, and you are just constantly working on your game. It never stops, does it?
It never stops, but I can tell you that every golfer does exactly what you do. Like you're like, oh, this is it. Like I'm going to play great for a long time with this one swing thought, and 2 weeks later you're like throwing that out the door and starting with something else. So that's just golf. Like when someone says, how do you play with no swing thoughts? And I was like, I played one tournament in my career with no swing thoughts. Every other tournament I played, I always had one or two. On a good week, one or two. So,
hey, Karrie, just quickly, just to finish on the coaches, on the professional circuit, how was it looked on if a player steals another player's coach?
Well,
because I don't know if you've been listening, I've got a coach, Stuart Leong, and someone, Peter, has took him for he got a lesson off him. What do you think about that?
Come on.
Well, in the instance that I brought up, I started working with Ian Triggs, and my mate Rachel Hetherington was being coached by him. I actually went and asked Rachel if it was okay if I could be coached by Triggsy.
Oh, that's the
key. That's the key.
I haven't heard anything from Stu. I've lost him.
He's been messaging me quite a bit, actually. Dale Lynch is my coach, absolutely, and
60% of the time.
And I've explained to him that I had just a catch up with Stuart Leong on a green with some putters, and we maybe did some putting.
This is very, very murky stuff here.
So, Karrie, like you said, you're always working on your game, and sometimes I'm watching, when I'm watching a tournament, and you go to the tee, and each player, professional player, will still take that time to go through their heads, to stand behind the ball, to address the ball. But you kind of, there's part of me thinking, you work on the game so often, why can't you just go up there? If you know what you're doing, just go up there and hit it quicker. Like, what are you thinking about when you're standing behind the ball before you address the ball? What's going through your mind?
Well, it depends on the day. Hopefully not a lot. That means that everything feels pretty good. But I think you can watch some professional golfers, and their pre-shot routines are ridiculously long. And in recent years, I've been taking my scholarship girls. They used to come and watch me play one of the majors during the year, and now I'm taking them to watch them. And watching golf, I'm tearing my hair out sometimes watching some of these players with their pre-shot routines. But typically, an efficient pre-shot routine is helpful. It means you don't have a lot of shit going on in your head. Most professional golfers, their pre-shot routine will be down to the half second. It'll be that repetitive. And I think it's just all about that timing and that repetition that, produces, golf shots a bit more consistently.
Now, we heard earlier this year, and I can't remember who this golfer was, but they kind of complained that Rory McIlroy didn't speak to them once when they were paired together. It may have actually...
Shambo?
Yeah, with
Yes,
DeChambeau.
It was DeChambeau, yeah.
Yeah.
What were you like going around, Karrie? Did you get chatty with your partners on the course, or did you keep it separate and not say much while you're out there?
I just depended who you played with, but I was talking to a few of my friends after Bryson made that comment, and a good friend of mine, Meg Mallon, and I were in the last group of the US Open in 2000. Like we're really good friends, still see each other regularly now, and we might have said, we might have chatted on the first tee, but I literally cannot remember another time during that round that we actually spoke. We might have said good shot,
right.
but like I just think when it's something of that importance, like you're not saying, "Hey, where'd you go to dinner last night?" Like who cares? Like you're going out there to win a major.
To get into the zone, can you describe the zone?
Yeah, I think the zone is just nothing. Like you don't hear any crowd noise. Someone moves, you don't see it. And you just decisions are really easy. Even if you're playing a day where you're in between clubs all day, it just seems like that decision's quite easy. And even if it's in a challenging decision, you trust that it's the right decision. It's just like you feel like golf's easy. It's just and you shut everything out and you're just involved in what you're doing. But you're also able to switch off. Like I had a caddy Mikey that caddied for me for 15 years. So, we were able to have a laugh. We might look in the crowd and go, look at that guy's wearing or whatever, just to make light of what's going on. But a lot of the times, if I was playing with a good friend, it's a lot easier to talk because you know them well, so you can ask how their family are or whatever. But if it's someone you don't know well, I don't care what hotel they're staying in or where they ate dinner or, anything like that. So sometimes yeah, exactly. And it depends on the situation. If it's Thursday morning, first round, and if it's a young kid that's, just come out on tour, I'll make my effort to get to know them and talk to them. But if it's a young kid on Sunday and the last group, I'll be nice to them on the first tee. But after that, I don't know how much I'll make that effort.
Fair enough.
If you're playing with Tyler Hatton or John Rahm, you might want to know what hotel they're staying at because they seem like they get up to some crazy business based on a recent press conference.
the party boys there.
Tyrrell Hatton, sorry.
So I was going to say, Pete and I are players we alluded to earlier in a Pro-Am later this year. And we're very excited about it. But I have to say, Karrie, I am nervous because I don't want to annoy proper golfers by spending my day in the bushes looking for a ball. How annoying, because I imagine you've played countless Pro-Ams. Have you had moments where you're just shaking your head going, oh, my God, this is going to be a long day?
Well, I think like a normal pro, you're playing in a tournament Pro-Am where the professionals playing tournament rounds, which is a little trickier than just the Pro-Am in the lead up to the tournament. Because that day, the pro you're playing with shouldn't be annoyed. They're just, you're getting to see the course before you'd start the tournament. And those people in the group are usually, guests of the sponsor. So you want them to have a good time. I think when it's tournament rounds, I think as a professional, that there's going to be things that aren't normal. And there'll be, times where you'll be searching for golf balls when you don't want to. But I think as the amateurs in the group, just don't be offered 25 handicap and think you're going to be, playing to a 10. And the pro doesn't expect you to do that either. And then as soon as you can't score on the hole, pick up and just get out of the way.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm leaning forward on this. Good advice.
And Karrie, Pete tends to bend right behind you as you putt too in your line. Like, is that encouraged or discouraged?
It depends. If the pro's missing the cut, then maybe you can start having a bit of fun.
And obviously, the guys we're playing with are going to be very excited, Pete, to be playing with Peter Hellier and Lehmo.
Yeah.
But, Karrie, I imagine over the years you would have played golf with some pretty big names. Are there some memorable rounds you've had with, I don't know, royalty, presidents, rock stars, movie stars?
I like it.
I did actually play a pro-am with Bob Hawke in New York one year. That was fun. And it was like even the Americans knew who he was, which just really surprised me. Like he transcended Australia, I think. But I played with, a number of Australian athletes, a few different celebs here and there, but I think it's all fun. The one person that I have their number and we've tried to play, and I still want to try and make that happen, but I just don't think I quite I don't gamble enough or enough money as he does as Michael Jordan. So I feel like he doesn't get out of bed for less than 20 grand. No, we've tried to, but
tried to.
Yeah, but I just think he's like, she's not going to want to play for as much money as I play for, and and for him, like I've heard there's hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line by the end of the day in the groups that he plays with.
That's pressure.
That might be even out of Peter Hellier's gambling. There.
Hey, Karrie, we're just getting into golf. What about your favourite golf courses overseas and here in Australia?
Favourite golf courses overseas. Well, I haven't played. I love links golf. So Turnberry, but I haven't played it since it was redone. But Turnberry's one of my favourites. Troon is. I haven't played a tournament on that, but I love Troon. And then in the States, a course that we played a few US Opens on is Pine Needles, and I did win a US Open on Pine Needles, but that was also my first US Open course, so I felt like that was my introduction to US Open. So that's one of my favorites. And then I feel like when I say this, people are like, well, that's because it's ranked number one in the world, but Pine Valley, I played a few years ago, and I sort of went in there like, why is this course number one all the time? Like, do they just, is it because of who the members are that they get this nice review? But it's unbelievable. It's a great golf course. But if I have to say favorite golf courses, I always come back to the Melbourne Sandbelt. And it's hard to say what my favorite one is because I've got 2 or 3 honorary memberships that I can't really announce publicly which one's my favorite. But I literally could play any of the Sandbelt courses every day for the rest of my life and never be bored. I just think it's a great combination of links and American style golf. It's just, you can still be really creative. Conditions change from day to day. American golf gets a little bit monotonous, I think, at times because it's just more target golf, not as creative. Although the newer courses over there are being designed to be a little bit more that way. But Sandbelt all the way for me.
It does take me back to when I had 48 Stableford points at
Oh, God, really. Any excuse.
Is it a little bit of just for the Americans, is the Melbourne Sandbelt a bit of a bucket list for the golfers over there? Is it really well known?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Sandbelt and Tasmania now, like Barnburgle and Cape Wickham.
7 Mile.
Yeah. So, those are when people talk to me, they're like, have you played this course? Have you played that course? So, yeah, Melbourne is definitely on the list.
Now, Karrie, I'm not sure if you got it, but I sent you some of our swings.
No.
Did you like what you saw?
Well, I feel like it's pretty easy to tell who the retired professional athlete was.
Okay. Yeah. Is that you or me?
Why is that? What did you see in Flem?
Well, Flem's obviously he's used his core in his sport, so you can tell that he knows how to generate a little bit of speed with his body. Whereas it is hard to teach that. you know, I think most people's natural instincts, if they haven't played a lot of sport, is to use their arms and their legs, and not generate their power from their core. So, yeah, and I think even for me, growing up, the way I was taught was I used to have quite a big shift off the ball, so I generated a lot of my speed through my lower half, my legs, with the weight transfer through. And then when I tightened that up, and I had to learn to use my core, it took me a long time to get that to be a natural movement.
That's where BioGolf, one of our sponsors, is going to help us.
Yes.
It's not just about golf swing, but the core stability and shoulder stability, all that's going to help with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And myself and Lehmo are actually going through grip changes at the moment. I've moved away from an interlocking to an overlapping, thanks to my super coach Dale Lynch, and just changed the positioning of the glove. It feels a bit, and loosening up the grip, and it feels a bit uncomfortable, but we're sticking with it. How many grip changes did you go through? Any grip changes over over your career?
I didn't go through interlocking or overlapping, and when I first started, I just had baseball because there was no junior clubs, so I was holding on to an adult size grip, so my hands were too small. And then I don't even have a proper overlapping. My little finger sits just on top of my left forefinger. So it doesn't even sit in the groove. And I progressed to that probably when I was about 10, and then that's been my grip since. But the changes I would make is that my grip gets a bit strong from time to time, and so just have to weaken it. So, either my left hand gets too far on top, you can see too many knuckles, or my right hand gets a little bit under. So that's the main changes I've made. But I've been, because I know that's a tendency, I try to keep an eye on it. So I don't, because it is making a grip change probably the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, that's what we're going through at the moment, Lee.
Yeah, there's the grip change and the swing change. So now, Karrie, when I go to hit a golf ball, there's only about 43 things going through my head.
Yeah.
That I have to get right.
I asked him to talk through on the par 3 at Albert Park last week. So he went through it all and actually hit it on the green.
It actually worked for that on that one occasion.
Yeah, right.
But I've got a bit of work in front of me.
Yeah.
Hey, Karrie, if we played against you in comp, what do you play off?
So I think my blues handicap is scratch.
Yes.
At Townsville anyway. And then I just played I played with my mum at Air Golf Club last week off the red tees, and I was a +4, which I can't play to. I was telling Pete, I need to learn how to get over 30 points at this stage.
Oh, wow.
You didn't be very good to get to 48.
Oh, God.
Very good.
You took 10 of my drives.
And how are the Crocodiles going on the? I played in Cairns 2 days before I saw you up in Townsville. I didn't get out in Townsville, but are the Crocs staying off the course?
Well, we did have floods this year, so there's probably a few little ones in the ponds, I'm sure.
Oh dear. Right, we did see it. There was a croc in a swimming pool at the Mirage up in Port Douglas.
Port Douglas, where we stayed.
Exactly. Yeah, we played up there, Karrie, at a course that might have been I can't remember which course it was, but there was a croc sitting on this mound about 10 metres from the 18th tee. So we were watching it bad. We were ready to run on that one.
We had very fast wings on the 18th on that one. Don't worry about that.
We were mucking around on the tee. Karrie, thank you so much for joining us. If you're ever in Melbourne,
yes, please.
If you would ever degrade yourself and play with, we would love to have a swing with you. But
I would love it.
It was quite a fortuitous little meeting we had in town.
The show, Pete, your show was great, and the whole Grapes of Mirth was really good. I was glad I was home for it.
That's lovely to hear. Thank you for that. And we had a great time in Townsville. They are great festivals, Grapes of Mirth, if you get a chance to get there. So, Karrie Webb, thank you so much for joining us. And
Thanks,
hopefully,
guys.
I think you've already made us good at golf.
Yes, Karrie.
Thanks, Karrie.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.
That was fun. That was great.
That's one of the greatest golfers. She is one of the greatest golfers ever.
Absolutely.
And just let me clarify. Did she have fingers crossed when she said, I'd love to play with you guys? I think she meant it. I think she actually meant it.
We'll check the tape. It felt genuine to me.
She's so down
Was
to
it-
earth.
was-
And she's such a,
Yeah.
see the memorabilia in the back. I remember at Australian one-day games, wearing the Australian one-day shirt coming to
Yes.
watch. Like, she's
Yeah.
a real Aussie follower.
No, very proud.
And so I think it's a chance we can get around.
Absolutely.
Pete, it's on you. Let's make it happen.
Well, we're best mates now,
You're
myself
best
and
mates.
Karrie, yeah.
Exactly.
So, and this just quite, as far as, but that
Poise.
steel and that resoluteness,
Resolve.
resolve,
Resilience.
that she obviously had when she was playing.
Oh, yeah.
It's just there. Athletes come in all different, forms, don't they? Like some are,
Yes.
big talkers. She's very modest, but she obviously knows exactly what she's doing,
I
what
don't
she
see
needs to do to get the job done.
similarities between her and MJ, Michael Jordan. That would be an interesting golf.
What a
Imagine
great!
that.
What I love that they've been trying to tee up a round together.
She said she has his number.
It's
know.
If Karrie leaves her
Who were
phone
you
around,
thinking?
if we
And
play
you go,
together.
a big star that wanted to play with her.
for some
I
reason-
was thinking Ricky Ponting or someone like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not Michael
The biggest.
Jordan.
Yeah. Two goats
That's
just playing
the bit-
together.
It's a Jordan and maybe Tiger Woods. Is that it?
Well, there's probably a goat club because she's in the goat
There
club.
is. Haven't you seen that photo from the Florida Grand Prix a few years ago?
No.
And in the photo was Tom Brady, Michael
Oh,
Jordan, LeBron. Oh, no, not LeBron. It was Michael Jordan. So it was Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Lionel Messi,
Peter Dacos.
and there were two others. There was five of them, and there were five goats in the photo
Yeah, right.
together.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're not quite there, are we?
No, we're not quite, but we will because I think some of that is just washed off
Yes.
on us. Some of the greatness, some of the goatness.
Yeah, it is.
So
A little
The
bit of goat has
resolve,
rubbed off on all of us.
resilience. We want it. But
Yeah.
you know what that is, or was? Make me.
Good at
golf.
Come on.